What's up, fam? Now, as you just saw, there's quite a few small things that we're gonna be doing to the GTR today that we have to get completed. The first thing is we're gonna be installing these JDM side markers. These are different than the factory ones that come on the US models, which on the factory models, or on the US models, I should say, these are red. And I feel like the clear is just gonna make it pop more and it's gonna give it a much cleaner vibe. So we're gonna change these out. I don't know if you remember in a previous video, but we attempted to do this, but realized that we have to remove the whole bumper in order to do so, which was a much bigger process than we were intending on doing in that video. So we decided we were gonna leave it to another video. The other thing is we're gonna be adding these hood struts from Phase 2 Motor Trend. These are supposed to be like the best in the industry. If you remember in a previous video, I had attempted to install, or actually didn't attempt, I installed these on it previously. These are from Z1 Motorsports. These were not good at all, which is really surprising because Z1 Motorsports makes a lot of really high-end, really high quality stuff. So it's surprising that something like that would come out so cheap and not useful at all. But hey, who knows? Maybe they're gonna revise it in the future. And the other thing that we're gonna be installing today is these QR codes. What's cool about these is if somebody ever sees me on the road, they could go ahead and just scan this QR code and it'll take them directly to my YouTube channel to view my content. If you have not yet joined the community, go ahead, click the subscribe button and the notification bell. This way you can stay up to date on all of my Nissan GTR build series content. With that, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and pull out all of this liner here so we can get to the bolts that are behind, or sorry, not the bolts, but the nuts that are here and on this side as well. All right, so all the liners are out. As you see, the one side liner over there, this is the other side liner, so the driver and the passenger. The rear, the back, and then the carpet. By the way, that was super easy. Probably takes about like 3-4 minutes to get done, and it'll leave you with a completely gutted trunk. Now from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove, there's gonna be 5 nuts over here to remove. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one inside of there that I need to remove as well. And so it's the exact same thing on the passenger side. One here, one right there, one over there, one down there, and then there's one in there. Now, for those who are wondering, because I don't have a long socket 8, I probably should have a long socket 8. Maybe I do somewhere in my drawer, I just didn't care to look for it. But I just used it by hand. So I used my grip to do the bottom one by hand. And then I put this on slightly and then basically put just a little bit amount in here just to break it. Free, and then I did the rest by hand to remove the 5. Now we'll go ahead and repeat the same exact thing on the passenger side. All right, now on the underside of the bumper, we have a few pieces that we need to remove as well. So these fasteners and some of these fasteners here, as well as some of the bolts holding the bumper in. These 2 bolts are like rusted in, so I'm gonna need to spray some stuff on this to hopefully break them free, because I don't want to mess it up. All right, well, I shot a bit of CLP in there, this stuff right here, so hopefully I'll let those sit for a little bit and then we'll come back and revisit those to get them off. All right, so the CLP did do the job and it was able to break it free. What I am gonna do though, before I reinstall these, I'm gonna go ahead and get these things soaked into some WD-40 or maybe even some CLP, heat them up and then just let them soak in there so that they can absorb some of that, and so that I'm not gonna have to deal with this issue going back in the future if I ever decide to take off the rear bumper again. Now we have a few clips that we need to remove from here. So there's one here, and then right up in here there's a plastic screw which can simply be undone with your hand. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. This is what this thing looks like. Now we'll go ahead and remove the 2 clips that are here, and then we'll remove the 10mm bolt that's behind this. All right, now what I've done here is I've taped up this side. This way, when I go ahead and move the bumper forward, this has to tilt like this out, and I don't want it to scratch up the side of the vehicle. Now we need to repeat the same thing that we did on this side. We need to repeat the same process on the driver's side. All right, now to show you here, there's gonna be 3 spots that we need to remove bolts from, and it's gonna be the one down here, the one up here, and this one right here. So just to compare the two, as you can see, they're the exact same in terms of fitment. The only difference is this one includes lighting. This one does not include any lighting. All right, so I got the passenger side done. Looks really good. Now we need to go ahead and move on over to the driver's side. This is a lot bigger of a task. I mean, I thought it was a big task, obviously removing the bumper, but even getting into this area, everything's really tight and really tricky. Like, I'm utilizing a lot of this swivel tool stuff. Probably be easier if I used an electronic ratchet. This is a little bit easier for the tight spaces. Just got the bumper back on, and I think it came out good. I mean, I think it definitely does transform the look of it with the clear reflector on from Japan. I think it really came out good. The only thing that I can't remember on the previous versions, excuse me, is whether there was like any sort of gap here. This side is not so bad, although there is a little bit of a gap here. On this side, it is slightly more, not by like a crazy amount, but it's definitely more. For those of you who have installed these, if that's normal, just let me know in the comment section down below. It's definitely not coming across in the camera, at least I don't think it is, but I can notice it, which is what matters. With that, let's go ahead and get the new hood struts into the car. All right, well, the shocks are in, and they definitely appear to be of a much higher quality. Even the way that they mount in the brackets, there were 0 modifications to these brackets needed versus the Z1 Motorsports brackets, which needed modifications. Same thing up here, everything just installed flawlessly, and yeah, they came out looking really, really good. The dampers themselves too, they have like these safety clips on them that are much nicer than the ones that come on the Z1 Motorsports ones. These are just so much more like your typical dampers or struts that you'd find on like a truck bed, or you know, any normal setup that comes on a car with hood struts. You normally see these kind. So very, very nice so far. Now for the moment of truth, let's go ahead and close it and see how well it closes. Oh my gosh, yes, so much smoother. All right, let's see on the lift up. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, these are so much better. So much better. Let me try it again. Wow, this is crazy. Like, it's hard to explain in words how much nicer these are than the Z1 Motorsports ones, but these are just like absolutely flawless. Very, very impressed with these. Yep, that came out good. Oh damn, that thing came out looking really, really good. I like it from afar too because it looks like really, really clean. What I'm thinking about adding here though, is adding probably like my Instagram handle, maybe like right here out of the way of this thing. But we'll see, because right now this thing looks really sick. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Well, that's it. So we got the hood struts done today, which is awesome. That's something I've been really looking forward to doing. We finally got the clear side markers and the rear side markers, and I'm happy this way. I actually didn't want them with the lighting. I know some people actually like them with the lighting. I prefer them not to have any lighting. I think that just looks super clean the way that is. So now we have clear in the fronts and we have clear in the rears. So that came out really nice. The don't scan me's on the side. Of course, I will put links in the description box below where you can find all this stuff. This dude is on Etsy, who I purchased this from, so I'll include a link to his Etsy store. Anyways, overall, I think everything came out really, really nice. It definitely wasn't the easiest of modifications on the rear. The hood struts, super, super easy. And of course, the decal, super easy. The rear side markers, those were a lot more difficult because as you saw, you do have to drop the entire rear bumper, or almost drop the entire rear bumper. So it's quite a bit of work, but for me, it was definitely worth doing. Now, one of my next modifications is something that I've actually been waiting for quite some time now, and it really is going to transform the entire look of this thing. So you're gonna have to stay tuned in for that one because this is gonna be a really, really big modification. Man, I cannot stop staring at this thing. This thing looks so damn good. Have you ever had one of those vehicles where like you can't stop looking at it? I feel like some of my builds, once they reach like a certain point, it's like non-stop. It just gets to a point where it's just like so clean and the details are all done that like you legit cannot take your eyes off of them. When you've put a lot of money and effort and time into something, and then it just comes out exactly the way that you want it, it's just like this great feeling of accomplishment. And that's how I feel looking at this GTR right now. It just looks so, so good. With that being said, if you found this video entertaining, do me a big favor, click the thumbs up. If you found this video helpful or useful, also click the thumbs up. Don't click it twice though, because if you click it twice, then it's gonna undo the first time. At least I think that's how it works. And as I mentioned before, all of the products that I installed on my GTR today, you can go ahead and find links in the description box below if you're interested in picking up anything I've installed on today's video. And if this is your first video finding my channel, I'd highly recommend going and checking out the entire playlist on the GTR build series. This way you can see all of the modifications that I've done to this beast so far. With that being said, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notification bell. This way you can stay up to date on all of my build series content. And most importantly, above all other things, make sure you're putting out good energy into the world and you're paying it forward. I'll check y'all out later. Bye now.